Welcome to Transits Fridays. Yay, another Transits Fridays. And I still haven't managed to do my Uranus Jupiter, but I will because this is such an ultra important transit that we're all going to go through. I really, really will do that video. And I will do a video about the eclipse season as well, because that's another big one that's just coming towards us, but not today. Today, what we're going to be talking about is the astrological transits for this week. So from Friday today, the 15th of March, until next Friday. And with a special emphasis on constructive astrology, obviously, because that's what this channel is all about. So it's all about seeing planetary movements and transits as opportunities. What is the best that we can do with this energy? How can we integrate? How can we use it in our lives in a way that we can feel aligned and that we can also negotiate our destiny? We can also make agreements with these gods, and so implement them or bring these energies into our lives and channel them in the best way possible. So there's no fear mongering here. That's how we use astrology in this channel. So let's move on and have a look at the chart for today. And welcome, I am Fernanda Paiva, Hitchhiking Stars. If you haven't been here before, it's great to have you here. And if you have been here before and you keep coming back, I love that you're coming back and you're part of the community. It's wonderful to have a little community. And I really want to increase this community and be more present as well here. But I have to keep my YouTube channel a little bit on the back burner for now, just as I am working on some content creation, really, some courses, which are very, very exciting. I've got their links in the description. So if you're interested in astrological tarot or beginner's astrology as well, this is for you. Or interested in my approach as well, like this is for you. Have a look, see what you think. I'd love to have you there, but no obligation as well. So let's have a look at the chart now. Also, how's your week? What happened this week? What have you been up to? My weeks are kind of the same. At the moment, my weeks are kind of the same. Is this really intense working schedule now for me? And as much as I love it, because I really do, it is also quite pressure ridden. This week I started therapy again as well. I got a new therapist. And I'm doing like once a month sessions, and it was really wonderful. It was great. It made me think on the importance and the enjoyment that I get from doing therapy, but also finding a therapist that's aligned with your visions, like with your worldview. Like it makes a very big difference as well. And not that my previous therapist wasn't, but he was a male as well, and this new therapist is a female. So it's like really interesting to have a different therapist after such a long time that I did therapy with the same person. So that's kind of like news of my week, really. My partner is still in England visiting friends and family, so I'm still alone in the house, but alone in the house doing a lot of work. That's like more or less my life now. Is really intensely dedicated to intellectual creation at the moment, which I love, like I said. So let me know, but also again, like it's triggering a lot of insecurities as well. So just so you get a little bit of the realness as well of me. There's a lot of self-doubt and things that are being triggered in the process. And yesterday having this conversation with my therapist was a lot about the inner critic and whose voice is the inner critic, and going back to early conditionings in childhood and getting to think again about my relationship with my father. And definitely not going to get to the details here, but it was very great, and it really gave me a lot of insights into astrology as well, obviously, because I'm constantly thinking about astrology, and I've been having very strong Saturn transits in the last year and a half, or and Saturn to the sun, it does have to do with crystallizing your sense of identity and who you are in the world, but also revisiting a lot of the father conditionings and the inner father as well. So I was like, oh yeah, there is that side of the Saturn transit that's also happening. So it's really helpful. So That's it. Let's move on. Let me know in the comments as usual. I love the sense of community, and I love to see you all as individuals, as special individuals here in your own right. And I love to hear from you individually as well, what's going on for you, what you want to share, like what are your transits right now and so on, and what are your plans as well for the eclipse season, if you have any plans. So going back to the astrology of our transits Fridays, which is what we're doing here, this week, what we're going to be checking now and talking about for this week is Sun conjunction Neptune, Venus conjunction Saturn, and the new year, the new astrological year as well. So basically the sun's ingress to Aries. And we're going to have a little look at the chart of the new moon, of the new astrological, not new moon, of the new astrological year. All right. So that would be timestamps as usual. So if you feel compelled to just watch the astrological year or to just watch the Venus Saturn, just feel free. Go back and forth as you please, as you need, because the goal is the information to be useful for you. So this is the chart for today, 15th of March, Friday. You can see already the Sun, Neptune coming quite close together. Mercury is getting involved here with that North Node in Chiron, which is actually another aspect for this week, which I think is relevant. And Saturday, tomorrow, the 16th, we already have the Sun not too far from Neptune. And in fact, Sunday, boom, that's when Sun, Neptune meet at the same degree of Pisces, so at 27 degrees of Pisces. Now, with that said, if you're having a personal transit from Neptune, if Neptune is doing something to your sun, your moon, your ascendant, whatnot, Sunday is a hot day, is a hot spot because it will trigger whatever you're going through already. I love to see these days when either the moon to a lesser extent, but especially the sun, Mars, those other planets do conjoin that planet that's making a transit, long-term transit to your chart, because you get clues. You get sort of a nutshell experience of what that transit's teaching you, what that transit is trying to say to you on that day. So Sunday will be a very interesting day for all of us that are having Neptune transit. So keep your eyes peeled, because you can see a small, during the space of 24 hours, you can see what the 2-3 years of that Neptune transit is about in within that sort of event and whatever it is that's happening, or how you feel as well. So pay attention to that Sunday. Now, in general, for all of us, I would say Sun Neptune conjunction, brilliant day to get in touch with inspiration, to feel inspired, to do some artwork, to do some spiritual practices, to go inwards, and to connect with a more psychic realm, right? It's more about the psychic realms than the real world, let's put it that way. And I think that's the thing with a strong Neptune time or Neptune transit. It's like, oh, illusions, don't believe in everyone. Yes, potentially, but there's a lot of creativity and there's a lot of inspiration that once, or you or your life or the gods, want to reinject in your daily life, in your experience. So it's about getting in touch with that inspiration, getting in touch with these other realms, the creative, the spiritual, the compassion, and all of those different themes that we connect with Pisces, but also with Neptune by being, the modern ruler of Pisces. So it's a very strong Piscean weekend, a very strong Piscean Sunday. With that said, thinking about constructive astrology as well is be careful what you eat, be careful what you drink during this weekend, because there's also this this tendency to want to transcend. And Frank Clifford, one of my tutors at the London School of Astrology, used to say that during a Neptune transit, you're either like seeking the spirits, as in like the divine, or the spirits, as in the drinks, because you need that sense of transcendence. So keep that in mind for this Sunday, if you're going to go to a party, or I have a birthday party tomorrow, two really good friends that are celebrating together their 40th. So like we're all like turning 40 now, which is insane. But yeah, so we got this party and I'm already like, oh, can't go for too long. I don't want to stay for very long because I have to work on weekends now. Not really having a day off unless I'm on my cycle. So anyhow, that's the message for the weekend with that Sun Neptune. So let's move on. Like we've got Moon in Cancer on Monday, and we've got Mercury coming very close to the North Node. And that's when Mercury conjoins the North Node right here on Tuesday, the 19th. And I think that's an important triple conjunction. This is really, Mercury, Chiron, North Node. I think we're like beginning to understand intellectually a lot of the lessons and the pains that we've been revisiting with Chiron in Aries. I will link the video about Chiron and Aries so you can have a look and you can revisit if you want to connect your dots and think about what you've been doing, and the lunar nodes as well. Actually, the videos about the North Node in Aries and our lessons on letting go of people pleasing and letting go of the shadows of Libra, right? So with Mercury joining in the party there, I think we're going to be rethinking because it will go retrograde not too far in the future, but not this week. But we will be like looking into all of these things more intellectually and perhaps processing it intellectually as well. All the individual work that we've been doing so far, all the individual wounds that we've been getting in touch with. So that's an important, and it's got that sort of evolution flavor because the North Node is connected to it. So it's about evolving through Aries now. Okay. So here we've got Wednesday. Oh yeah, that's the important bit. Here's Wednesday, the 20th, early hours in Brazil. So it might be Tuesday for all of you in the US, or later, obviously, in the day, depending where you are, if you're in Australia, for example. But that's the chart of the new astrological year. That's exactly when the sun ingresses in Aries. So it's the beginning of Aries season, but the beginning of a new astrological year, like I said. So that's a big deal. That's an important chart, and it will give us a little clue about what this whole astrological year will be about. What sort of flavors will we be carrying? And definitely we've got that Mercury Chiron. I think for most of this year, we're going to be understanding, processing, communicating, putting words into all of these Aries, Chiron, Aries North Node stuff that we've been doing for a while now. Okay, I think there is definitely that. That's an important cluster. And it's the 18th of Aries is not too far from where the new moon eclipse will happen. The new moon eclipse will be very powerful, and it will be a 19 Aries. So we've got Sun, Chiron, and the moon like really close together. So the other point here in this chart is Venus, Saturn in Pisces. I think a lot of this year will be about taking our spirituality seriously, taking our evolution, our spiritual evolution seriously, taking our values seriously. I don't know if I said first, but taking our spiritual values very seriously. So are we living what we preach? Are we turning any of what we believe into reality? Are we doing something with our dreams and aspirations and, inspirations as well, and creative impulses? Are we doing anything with it? Well, Saturn in Pisces is saying do something with it. You gotta crystallize it, gotta make it into something tangible, right? So that Venus Saturn is very, very important. The Jupiter Uranus is not too far. Like Jupiter is almost at 15th already, so it'll be like a 5-degree orb between the two. So I think that is a general flavor of this year, is like insight, breakthrough, a lot of the Jupiter Uranus flavors. And finding where that Jupiter Uranus is in your chart will be really important. And that's, why I really want to do this video as well. Excuse me, and help you place this Jupiter Uranus in your chart so you can find out what area of your life are you ready to have a breakthrough, to move on, to really finally make it, which is the energy of this Jupiter Uranus. So that's definitely a strong part of this year. Moon is in Leo, is about personal expression as well. A lot of it is about personal expression. And as a waning opposition to Pluto, I think that, is like letting go a lot of the peer pressure, the collective pressures of like who you should be, what you should do. And I think that resonates with all of the Aries, North Node, and Chiron as well. The people pleasing, the doing it because, you feel you have to because you have to be nice or because other people expect it from you. I think we're sort of getting rid of all of that. And this astrological year in particular will be very powerful for it, will be, very much about this, about these flavors. All right. So that's a kind of a general view of this astrological year. Now, on Thursday, because again, it's the early hours. So on the 21st of March is when we have the Venus Saturn perfecting the conjunction between the two. And again, if you're having a Saturn transit, that's an interesting time to observe, an interesting day to keep an eye on and see how you feel. So the same day that we have Venus Saturn conjunction, we also have Mercury Chiron conjunction. So really like getting in tune or getting acquainted and more clarity in our minds about what's going on, about what we've been revisiting, what are our wounds, and what's going on. The moon in Leo will be in trine to those parts as well, so maybe really is an opportunity to integrate something there, to integrate something painful. And I think the Venus Saturn could also be about that. Now, if you got issues of self-worth, which I believe we all do on some level, this day does trigger that. I think Venus Saturn transits or placements in the chart as well tends to constellate a lot of these flavors of self-worth, of like issues of self-worth. If you've been projecting that into something else, if you've been pretending that you've got a sound sense of self-worth and, over worrying about your looks and about, external validation, then that day challenges that a little bit. So it's good to know that so you can use it as a pointer. You use that as a sign to see where you're at in your process, more than anything else. It's just helping you to see how much you still need to let go and work on and etc. So it's a day to take self-care, self-worth very, very seriously with that Venus Saturn. And then obviously, like I said before, imagination, creativity, values, relationships, partnerships, all the things that are connected and clustered around Venus. Money as well, finances, all of that there as well. So that's it, because the next day is already Friday, and we'll be talking about Friday next week. So next Friday, I'll come back and do another Transits Fridays. And yeah, that's it. I mean, let me know how you're feeling, what you're doing. Have you got any plans for the new astrological year? Are you going to do something? Are you going to celebrate? I do want to celebrate, actually. Now that I'm asking you, I'm actually thinking about what I'm going to be doing. And I do want to celebrate it. So I might do a little something here and welcome this new energy and think about the things that I want to accomplish or how I want to use the astrological placements of that chart that we just talked about, the new year, the new astrological year. So let me know in the comments, have you got plans? Do you want to do anything in special, or are you going to? And how are you feeling about all these transits, and how do you see them playing out in your life? And that's it. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a beautiful shift and change of astrological year. And I'll be seeing you all next week, next Friday. Bye bye, then take care.